I'm gonna have to say just playing water polo in general, because it was my first year ever playing that, and so it was a new experience. And so I just remember like scoring my first goal, and that was so cool to try a new sport my senior year and really just like love it.
My favorite moment of the 2020 school year was doing physics labs with my friends because we always made it fun together.
Probably the most memorable moment of my senior year was when me, Julie, and Alina first hung out, just the three of us for the first time, and we went to Emmanuel to go watch 2 games, and the soccer game and the basketball game, which we didn't even stay for because it got too foggy. We went to a Chinese restaurant in between games, and we ate and everything like normal. And we went back to Julia's car and we waited for the basketball game to start, and we were just sitting in our car hanging out, and we opened our fortune cookies. And me and Alina's were just dumb as normal, and then Julia opens hers and it said the time is right to make new friends. And we all just freaked out because we just wanted to become a friend group. And it was the beginning of us, and it was just great and so perfect for the moment. I love them so much. We are just inseparable, and forever grateful for that moment and for them.
Hey, I would say that my most memorable moment of senior year was probably the day when I tried Wingstop for the first time.
One of the most memorable parts of senior year for me was definitely the student section. It was bigger, it was better, it was louder than any of the student sections we've had in the past 3 years before senior year, especially at all the Valley games. From volleyball to basketball to soccer, we were always hyped and we were always there to support the team.
My most memorable moment from senior year was probably getting to be a part of the High School Musical homecoming float and win the contest with all of my closest friends.
My most memorable moment from senior year is definitely homecoming, because that day we did initiation with my girls, and it was just such a fun week. And we won homecoming, and I was able to portray Gabriella throughout the High School Musical dances that we did for our float. And I got to sing the national anthem with jazz choir, and our boys won their game, and it was just so much fun, and I felt like I could do anything after that. I'm just so glad that I got to experience it alongside all of my class, and they're just really my close friends, and I'm super thankful for them.
My most memorable moment of senior year was definitely homecoming week. I loved choreographing the senior float and getting to talk to everybody and just see everyone have fun and really connect with the seniors that way. And I'm so happy that we won, and that was just a really great experience and super fun for all of us, especially since the theme was High School Musical. I'm so happy that I did that.
One of the most memorable moments of my senior year was definitely winning homecoming. It felt really good to win after all the hours of practicing we spent, all the time that we put into it.
High School Musical! High School Musical! High School Musical!
Second, and the seniors take first. Joshua Jackson. Anna Davis.
My most memorable moment was probably senior sunrise, just because it was the first moment that I realized dang, I'm a senior and this is gonna go by so fast, you know?
My favorite part of senior year was initiation.
My favorite memory from senior year is probably all the football games with everyone there. The student section was probably the best I've ever seen it, and we had such a great season. It was so fun to cheer on our guys.
My favorite memory from senior year was winning the first ever Valley Championship for volleyball and being able to cherish that moment with my team and seeing all the people from the community and from the school coming out to support us.
had such an amazing senior year. There's no way I could just pick one memory because there wasn't one specific memory that stood out to me. I just have enjoyed the whole entire senior year. I mean, from running and winning vice president and president with my best friend Bella, to being co-editor of the yearbook with one of my other best friends, Megan. Those two opportunities have brought so much joy to me, and I was so grateful to be given those opportunities. And then winning homecoming, senior year high school musical with some of my best friends, and I made so many new friends through that too, which is also amazing. And then, you know, I'm kind of a big fan of TikTok, if you didn't already know, and I made a video in my civics class and it kind of blew up, which was super cool. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no way that I could just pick one moment in my senior year. I would have to say my favorite memory of senior year is my senior year. So I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who made my senior year so special. Thank you. Seniors, I love you. I love all of you. Thank you.
My most memorable moment would probably be initiation, just because we got to experience like all of the fun and joy with like the freshmen. We got to have all the senior girls like all together and just create like that memory.
One of my most memorable moments this year was when me and my buds painted Go Vikings on our chests for the Kingsburg football games.
Okay, so my most memorable moment of senior year is pretty awesome. So Doug told us in leadership to go pick up trash around the senior lot. So me, Adrian, a bunch of other people, we go over there to pick it up. And basically, there was no trash, but there was a broken piano. So we were like, this is legendary. What are we going to do with it? We took it back to Doug. He says, what the heck, I don't want it. Take it to the choir room, it's probably theirs. It wasn't theirs. It was such a piece of crap, they didn't want it. So then we went back to Doug. And Doug was like, I don't know what to do with it. So we were going to take it to the office. So then we're going over, we're by Simmons' room, and we're going way too fast. We go down the hill, we go down the dip, we're just speeding. And then what happens is it falls on Adrian's side. And I'm like, oh crap, this thing's going to fall on me. Actually, I barely even noticed it. And then it fell on my foot. Long story short, I got a bone contusion. I was out of school for like a week. I still can't run. It's terrible, but it was also awesome. Shout out to Adrian.
Hi guys, it's Tori. So my favorite senior year memory is actually something that happened junior year when I chugged a gallon of milk in front of the entire school as my initiation to becoming ASB president, which was one of the most rewarding experiences, and I'm so grateful and blessed to have shared these past 4 years with you guys. So thank you.
So my favorite memory from this year would definitely be all of the student sections at volleyball games, basketball games, soccer games, football games. They were just hyped all the time, and I loved it. It was so much fun.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to share with you guys my most memorable moment in high school, which actually happened this year over like a period of times, I guess. Well, my most memorable moments of high school were actually running onto the field after every football or soccer game to congratulate my friends by hugging them. So, go Vikings!
My favorite memory from this year were the football games, definitely. I just remember it always being so hyped, you know, and we had all of our friends just chanting away, you know, screaming our hearts out, and it was just the funnest time because we were all looking forward to that day of the week, you know, and just all hanging out together. So yeah.
One of my most memorable moments from this year is definitely chest bumping Alfred after recovering a fumble during one of our games.
Hi, my name's Alyssa, and the most memorable moment from this year would be using the photography skills I learned from Mr. Burrows to do my cousin's maternity shoot.
I've been sitting here trying to think of my most memorable moment of senior year, and it has been really hard for me just because this year has been so awesome. It's just been the best year of my high school experience so far, and I have seriously loved every minute of it. And so when I think back over the last year, I can't really put my finger on just one exact moment, but everything that keeps coming back to me is just the fact that being able to be surrounded by each of you every day, I'm getting emotional, has been the best. I seriously love each and every one of you. You are so so special to me and so close to my heart. And I've just loved getting to experience life with you the last 4 years of my life. And I seriously believe there's no better place to go to school than Kingsburg High. And I just want to say how blessed I am to have every memory and every moment with each of you up until this point, and especially in senior year. And I think that's what has made the most memorable experience yet, has just been being surrounded by each of you. I love you all.
Hey guys, it's JC. What I didn't know as a freshman that I now know as a senior is all of the amazing opportunities that we are allowed to have and to adventure out and learn new things and meet all of the great people that are in our grade that we never really talked to.
If I could go back and give my freshman self a piece of advice, I would say to be present and to not stress over the little things. Time flies by and we don't have the chance to redo our high school years, so truly appreciate each moment and slow down.
Something I learned this year was to not take anything for granted and to enjoy everything while you can.
One thing I learned this year that I wish I knew freshman year was that I shouldn't make things seem bigger than they really are. Whether it's with friends or in school, it's just always good to really understand what you're going through and take a step back and analyze the situation and say, okay, I'm overthinking this, everything's gonna be okay.
Something that I learned that I probably didn't know my freshman year is that people aren't as intimidating as they seem once you get to know them and talk to them and kind of open up to them. I'm just thankful for the friendships that I have, and I'm thankful for the class of 2020, and I think that's a really important lesson to learn. And you never know what somebody's going through, and they might be going through the same thing as you, so yeah.
It would be to definitely make the most out of all 4 years of your high school experience, just because once senior year hits, it's like you know that you're about to be an adult and everything's like about to change.
One thing that I know now as senior that I never knew as a freshman was how to code. Freshman year I never thought I'd be able to create apps, but this year I was able to create various apps in my computer science class.
If there's something I could tell my freshman year self, it would probably be like, it's okay to have a B in a class, it's not the end of the world, and like, you can get it up. It's like, don't be super stressed about it.
I would have to say the thing that I didn't listen to freshman year was that how quick high school goes by. Now that it's senior year, you know, and we're in this quarantine and getting time taken away from us, it's like, damn, it did go by fast, you know?
One thing that I've learned since freshman year is about the way you dress. Beginning of high school, I actually cared. And then at the end, I wore scrubs every day, the same ones. And you know what? I was fine. Still had friends. So that's the one thing I wish I could tell myself. Even if you look like crap, your friends will still be there. And you'll be even more comfortable. Scrubs are great. But they were like pajamas.
If there's something I learned this year, it's definitely that not everything lasts forever.
One thing that I learned now than when I was a freshman was that time does fly by fast. These 4 years were full of memories and friends that will never be forgotten.
Something that I learned this year that I probably didn't know freshman year was to make the most out of all the memories that were created throughout our high school years. And no matter how hard our school life gets or like life outside of school, to never give up.
Hi, I'm Anissa Romero, and if there's one thing that I've learned this year that I didn't know my freshman year is to make as many memories with your friends as possible, because these 4 years really do go by so fast.
So what I learned this year that would not have crossed my mind freshman year is that time is precious and to enjoy every second we get to spend with each other and make the most of everything. I love you, class of 2020. Go Vikings!
I had in high school was gonna be Miss Gomez because, well, I had her junior year and she was an amazing first aid and medical terminology teacher, and I got to know her really good in that class. And then now that I'm a senior and I'm in CNA, she's just a really fun person. She's very inspirational. She's a good person to go to go and talk to for advice, and I just love her.
One of my favorite teachers out of my 4 years of high school was Mrs. Morris because she's extremely selfless and constantly is checking up on others and making sure that everyone is okay.
Okay, my favorite teacher from all of high school is easily Mr. Mark Jensen, because what other teacher will explain to you the difference between socialism and communism and then immediately turn around and teach you how to win a blackjack?
One of my favorite teachers from high school is Mrs. Engstrom. She's taught me a lot as a student and as a person. She sees the best in others, and I really admire that about her. She embraces others despite their differences and appreciates them for who they are. I'm grateful to have been her student this past year.
My favorite teacher from this year was my civics and economics teacher, Mrs. McDonald. She made class fun with activities and games, and she always provided our class with snacks. And I would want to let everyone know to stay positive.
Hi, my favorite high school teacher was Miss Gomez, my CNA teacher, because she introduced me into nursing and she just made our classroom feel like a family, which I thought was really cool.
My favorite teacher is definitely a toss-up between Miss Schiller and Mr. Simmons. They're both so passionate with the way they teach, and they care so deeply about their students. They're amazing role models, and as someone who wants to become a teacher, I aspire to be like them someday.
My favorite teacher was Miss Boz freshman year.
My favorite teacher would have to be Mark Jensen.
My favorite teacher would have to be Mrs. Ferguson because she's always down to just go do something on FFA trips.
Hi! So my favorite teacher would be Miss Gomez because whenever she comes into the classroom, she's always cheerful and it's so easy to understand her. Bye!
My favorite teacher, that's a hard one. I'm gonna have to go with Mrs. Engstrom. I had her sophomore year for stagecraft, and that class was really, really fun, and she's just a great teacher, and I just love her motherly, the way she teaches, she's just so comforting and encouraging, and so I really love that about her. And now I have her for AP Lit my senior year, and it's been a really fun class, and throughout all the craziness going on right now, she's just been so encouraging and sweet and helpful, so yeah.
For my favorite teacher would be Mr. Manley and Coach Grass, or Patty Grass, because they're honestly some of the best coaches that I know.
My favorite teacher is definitely Miss McDonald, just because it wasn't just about schoolwork that she would talk about, it was also just life in general. She would give a lot of really good advice, and I learned so much from her this year.
Where? Get him upside down!